Right. During our upbringing.
Yeah.
Mental health.
Right.
Go get that belt.
Yeah.
Got some mental health for your ass. You gonna get it. You gonna get it right today.
Like, we normalized getting beat, dog. Like, when I was a kid, I used to watch BET, Comic View, and Devil Comedy Jam. And as I got older, I was like, man, everybody really kind of just laughing at the trauma.
You are now listening to the thoughts and sounds of IC the God King. This is the IC Experience.
Severely overweight,
Right.
obese, out of shape, whatever the case is. And because when they built that
escalator,
because you said something that caught my attention. You said they do the soccer games, or what is it?
Like a couple of months ago, if not a year, Taylor Swift was here.
Right.
That was the first time I saw a news where it was a bunch of blonde hair, blue eyes girls on the martyr. Like, it was hundreds of them, if not thousands. They didn't have that problem. You know, the escalator working just fine. You know, and I don't mean to laugh, but you know what I'm saying? You know, it just the coincidence that is this faulty equipment, or did it reach the limit?
Right. If you got one person, if you got 4 or 5 people, let's say 4 or 5 people on the escalator at one time, that weigh as much as 2 or 3 people, the average man size person, right?
Yeah.
This person weigh the same size as 2 or 3 of them. Now automatically you got 15 more people.
Right.
The weight of 15 more people on the elevator. You know, so when they built the MARTA way back then, they probably never fathomed that thought, right? That it would just be this many,
300.
Severely obese.
200 to 300. Like Kevin said.
SSBBWs.
Right. Oh man, so okay, we're gonna switch it over to the next topic. You know, we love the women, but we just want y'all to do better. That's all.
Yeah, we love us some women. And you know, it's I think that the women, like I said, like they've been hijacked they're being targeted with this music, and you know what I'm saying? So it's not like, I don't want to seem like, oh, I'm blaming the women.
Right.
That's a good way to do
it. They've been targeted.
Right. They've been targeted. They don't know they're under attack. We know they're under attack because we know it's a war going on, you know, but they are going to the Beyonce con. They enjoying trying to figure out how to enjoy life, which is their understandable. That's, you know what I'm saying? But we still on the front line, you know, so now we see where they attacked us at, you know what I mean?
Because when they in the front line, they bring their energy home, and we like, well, dog, what the hell going on?
Right. You
behind
know,
enemy lines.
Yeah, exactly. They definitely behind enemy lines in the home. So, you know, that's why we have these conversations, just kind of bring enlightenment and awareness, you know, to what's going on, because sometimes we go through stuff and we don't understand the forces that's pushing us or pulling us, you know. You feel good, you might not know why you feel good, or you feel bad, you don't know why you feel bad, you know. So yeah, it's just good to shine light on that kind of stuff, just so we can be aware and try to, you know, be more in control of our own narrative. You know what I mean?
What do you think? So the next topic, we're talking about men healing.
Men healing from what?
Just from a lot of trauma growing up, you know, within the Black community. We deal with we normalize a lot of things that we shouldn't normalize. You know, I know from my upbringing, I never really heard a lot of Black adults and parents talk about therapy and things of that nature. What I do recall is everybody saying, did you pray about it? Did you go to church about it? And not to say that's not a good thing, but now that we are older now, and we know about calories and how certain food is impacting us, we also know more about mental health than what was exposed or out there during that time.
Right. During our upbringing.
Yeah.
Mental health.
Right.
Go get that belt.
Yeah.
Got some mental health for your ass. You gonna get it. You gonna get it right today.
Like, we normalized getting beat, dog. Like, when I was a kid, I used to watch BET, Comic View, and Def Comedy Jam. And as I got older, I was like, man, everybody really kind of just laughing at the trauma that we had. That's all comedy was about, like laughing at our pain.
Right.
You know, and then we kind of, in laughing about it, we don't really take it serious. And it's not until something severe happens that, you know, we would just round it up to like, something ain't right with him. You know, we have a couple of loose screws, you know.
Right.
Instead of just saying, oh, this person has ADHD, or they're bipolar, or they're having a midlife crisis, or, you know, whatever other kind of illnesses there are out there, you know. So instead of just rounding it off, it's like, you know, that boy off,
right,
you know,
right.
that young lady off,
slow.
Right. You knew that girl was a damn Mangalo,
stuff like that.
Right. So,
like, oh, he's stupid.
Right. So that, I feel like with that, with the pressures of society, also with being targeted by the powers that be, you walk around with a lot of pressure on your shoulders and you don't even realize it. You know, you've just been so used to the pressure being there that as you cross over into your 30s, going to your 40s, that really is a line that you're crossing. Like, okay, you can't play no more. You can't hang out like you did. You can't eat certain foods that you've been eating for the last 20-something years. You can't not have exercise on your schedule. You can't have mental peace be something, a fleeting, like sand in the hourglass. You gotta prioritize these things. You know, me and you talked about recently, like, we've been going through a lot of personal situations, and man, I started feeling my arm tingle, you know, and I'm like, damn, what's going on?
Right, that's the wrong arm you touching.
Now, that was the arm that was tingling, you know. And so when it was tingling, I remember hearing, oh, if you hear the arm tingling and stuff.
It wasn't your left arm?
Nah, it was my right arm. It was my right arm.
It wasn't never your left arm.
It came over here once, but it was like 95%. It was this arm. It was tingling a lot.
I only get in my left arm, but
hey, when I Googled it, it said, nigga, it don't matter what arm. That bitch, that's an alarm. He said, that bitch tingling, boy. And my initial thought was, hey, I'm just finna chill. You know, this is nothing. You know, maybe I worked out too much. You know, because at my mind, I'm like, I'm eating healthier now. Right. I'm eating healthy. I exercise quite a bit, so I didn't really pay that much attention to it until one night. It just got to the point where I couldn't ignore it anymore. And I went to the hospital, and, you know, and they were telling me, like, hey, you know, you're under a lot of stress. You know, if I would have kept ignoring it, I could have been victim to succumbing to like a stroke or either a heart attack.
Right.
And that was a wake-up call. And then I mentioned it to him, and he said, oh, that's what that is? You got the tingling?
Yeah. I was like, damn, my arm been tingling.
Yeah.
And I thought it was because I had slept on my shoulder wrong, and I was having some issues over here anyway.
Right.
You know, because I had like a little kink in here for a minute. You know, but around that time, my arm started tingling.
Yeah.
You know, and
where was your arm tingling at?
All up and round through here.
And it felt like you fell asleep.
It feels like, no, you know what? It feels like I fell asleep, but there's also like a pressure buildup feel to it too. Yeah. You know, so it feels like in my mind, I'm like, oh, if this is related to high blood pressure, then it's probably like, I'm probably feeling the pressure, you know, this blood going into my arm. Yeah. And I'm feeling that push against, you know, my extremities. So, yeah, man, when you told me that, I was like, yeah, and I thought it was just falling asleep, so I'd be moving it and stuff like that.
I was doing like this, trying to waking up. Like, damn, I thought the same thing. I slept on it too, and I'm thinking like, oh, I'm cutting off the circulation.
Right. Yeah. And then not too long ago, after that, I was at the gym and I was talking to another guy at the gym, a black guy. He's from the Caribbean. And in really good shape. I can tell that he's older, but he doesn't look his age, you know, and he's in very good shape. And, you know, clear skin, everything, you know. And so, you know, I figured he was in peak condition, you know what I mean? And which, I mean, you know, he probably is for all things considered, but he did tell me that he was dealing with high blood pressure, because we got to talking about supplements, and I'm like, yeah, I need to take some supplements. I know everything to take, I just don't take it, you know? So I really need to, you know, go to GMC or something and get, you know, some of the stuff that I need to get, just to get on a regular supplement, you know, the turmeric, the ginger, you know, the lemon juice, that type of stuff. But yeah, so we started talking about that, and I was like, yeah, I need to take some supplements. He was like, yeah, I take medication for high blood pressure. Because I was like, what? I was like, how you got high blood pressure? And he was like, I think some of it is genetics, and then some of it is, but you don't get a straight answer from people on exactly what. For something to be so severe, he talked about how they call it the silent killer. And some people just go to sleep and they don't wake up. And then when I'm talking to him about it, and I was just talking to you about it, and I'm like, damn, you hear about guys who be like 50 years old and they just die out of nowhere. It was like,
and you don't even know. You're just like, damn, what happened?
Right. And so they call it silent killer. And then another guy, like some shit in the movies, or like them those little movies you used to watch in elementary school, you know, where the two guys having a conversation about something, and somebody, hey, yeah, guys, and you know, he was like, yeah, I had high blood pressure too. You know, and I had friends and stuff who was dealing with, I'm on medication right now and I'm trying to get off of it. You know what I mean? And he looked good too. You could tell he's an older dude, but he's in the gym and work out and stuff like that.
And that's why it's hard to identify, because when you think about heart attack, my mind automatically goes to somebody's overweight, you know, somebody who look like they don't work out. But like you said, man, it don't just come from physical. It could also come with the stress.